Hi gang, welcome back to my channel. My name is Audrey if you're new here. We are talking about The Mandalorian episode 5, chapter 13, titled The Jedi. So very clearly be warned for spoilers because they're happening. And if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe because I do videos for The Mandalorian all season long, do lots of other Star Wars videos. I just did a video on the LEGO Star Wars holiday special, which thank you guys so much for the support. I really didn't think it would get that many views, but it's at over 150 and I really appreciate it. I'm also trying to get to 150 subscribers by the end of 2020 and I am 13 away, I believe. I think I'm at 137, so something around there, so please subscribe and help me get to that goal. It would mean a lot to me. We are going to do a breakdown and then at the end I'm going to give you my thoughts on the episode as a whole. Let's get started. This episode starts, it does not leave any wondering for a reveal of Ahsoka Tano. She shows up immediately. It starts with Ahsoka Tano fighting off the evil, menacing guards of the magistrate in this, on the planet Corvus, so on the city of Caliban, which they're talking about. And she has her two white lightsabers still, which is great. They looked great in live action. I have a few things to say about this, about Ahsoka in general. I'm going to try to leave that to the end. I was really shocked that she did not start her I am not a Jedi spiel. She does address it a little bit later on. Not in the same exact way, but she talks about, you know, the fall of the Jedi Order. Baby Yoda wants the little ball that's on top of the little lever thing from season 1, and he ends up force taking it before Din realizes that after they get off the ship, and he's like, no, this needs to stay on the ship. So Mando lands on Corvus and enters the guarded city. He is looking for information to find Ahsoka. They find out the citizens aren't allowed to speak to him. They are being threatened by the guards. If they do, there's a man who comes out and says, you know, don't speak to them, don't speak to us, because it's going to bring danger. There are prisoners who are trapped outside of the city, so it's a good sign of that's what happens and the tough rule that is implemented in the city. The woman that is there we find out, is an Imperial loyalist, so it makes sense that they have these brutal tactics. The magistrate invites the Mandalorian into her little area, which looks really nice compared to the fact that the little village is a wasteland. She basically puts him on the mission that she wants Mando to kill Ahsoka Tano because she's been plaguing them, and she offers him a spear made of Beskar for completing the task. He's like, sure, I'll go. I'm trying to find her anyway, so just give me this information. We find out she's living in the middle of the woods. We see a Mirai, which is the owl that is always accompanying Ahsoka. If you watch Rebels, good for you, because there's a lot of Rebels stuff in this episode. Because it is directed by Dave Filoni, who wrote Clone Wars and Rebels and is overseer of that. So she's living in the middle of the woods. There is a bit of a fight between them until he says, Ahsoka Tano, I am here. Bo-Katan sent me, trying to find Jedi, all that sort of thing. So Ahsoka starts communicating with the child, and Papa paces back and forth very cutely. He's just like, I don't know what to do. So it's pretty obvious that they're speaking to each other, but Baby Yoda doesn't actually talk, but they communicate based on his coups and stuff like that, and obviously they have a connection there that they can speak with. We get a Baby Yoda name, and I have a feeling everyone's going to continue to call him Baby Yoda. His name is Grogu. So, yep, he was raised on the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and hidden during the Jedi Purge. So he was not one of the younglings that was slaughtered by Anakin. Great, good for him. And he was hidden and then somebody took him, we don't know who, and after that his memory went dark because he's been hiding his powers while being on the run to protect himself. And we know he trained with many Jedi Masters, so unsure if he had the rank of youngling or of Padawan. I would assume youngling just based on the way that he moves and still is like a little baby, but we don't know if this is some sort of, he's reverting back to, you know, trying to be innocent and not as powerful, or if he just was like that and was a little youngling. Ahsoka tests Grogu, and we find out he's hiding his powers due to fear. He's very scared of what could happen, but he ends up passing the test because Din has the little ball from the lever, and they have a connection, and he uses the Force in that moment. There was a very cute father-son moment, but we find out that the attachment that Grogu has to Din is too strong, that Ahsoka doesn't want to teach him because of fear of attachment and him falling into the dark side. We find out then that Din's like, no, you gotta train this little kid, this is my mission, you gotta do this, so I'm gonna help you with the village task and you can help me after that's done. So we find out that the magistrate's name is Morgan Elsbeth, and her planet and people were decimated during the Clone Wars, so then she became a harsh Imperial loyalist, because I guess that's how that works, even though, you know, whatevs. But I guess if she was decimated by the Separatists, then the Empire was responsible for getting rid of the Separatists, so there's that. But they also created them, so I guess people just don't really know about that. We know about that, but people just don't really know about that. She's made a career of going to planets, stripping them, destroying them, and getting very powerful. Ahsoka and Din take down the magistrate and guards. We see a Lothcat, a little creature that's from Rebels, frequently known to follow around Ezra Bridger, so we'll get back to that in a bit. There is a duel between Ahsoka and Magistrate Morgan. Magistrate Morgan using the Beskar spear that she has, and Ahsoka using her two lightsabers. Ahsoka wins the duel. Mando kills the Imperial gunman, so there's a little standoff between them, you know, Western style. Ahsoka was looking for information on Grand Admiral Thrawn. Where is he? He's apparently still alive, so Ezra Bridger did not kill him when he took him to the unknown regions. Rebel stuff. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Man that spoke to Din briefly in the village assists in freeing the prisoners and then is named Magistrate himself. We have another video game task, I said, in my notes. So Ahsoka still refuses to train Grogu and decides that, you know, you can take him to this Jedi temple. I can't remember the planet because I didn't write it down. But you can take him to this Jedi temple and he can choose his own path. And if he chooses the path of the Force and the Jedi, another Jedi might come speak to him, or might come find him, search for him. She's just like, I ain't training this little green thing. I ain't training him. So we're going to talk about my thoughts and things that I'm expecting for the future. Lots to talk about, especially that I've been saying for a very long time. In all these videos, I think, where is Ezra Bridger? If Grand Admiral Thrawn is not there, not with Ezra still, Ezra didn't defeat him, so he got away in somehow. Is Ezra still alive? I'm assuming yes. It's more than likely that he is alive. Ahsoka and Sabine did find him. So it could be like, yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm reunited with everybody else, so what's up? I just haven't been here. I'm just chilling. Like, that's what I'm doing. But considering the Lothcat was there, I'm going to assume the fact that Ezra is still alive. I'm assuming that Ahsoka found him with Sabine, but not positive. But where is he? That is a good question. I think that could also come back when it comes to Grogu going to the Jedi Temple. Sorry, I gotta laugh every time I say Grogu. Other questions were left with, why is Ahsoka on this planet? I mean, I guess the whole thing is that she was trying to find Thrawn, and she was going place to place to attempt to find him. So that could answer my question pretty quickly, but I don't know how long she's been there. What has she necessarily been up to since she was searching for Ezra? I'm assuming at this point she obviously she knows Thrawn is still alive, so it has to do with the fact that she's on the search for Thrawn. Which then brings up to the rest of the Rebels crew. Where are they? Obviously not Kanan. Rip, he's dead. Where's Sabine? I mean, she would be a very integral part of this. I think she will show up at some point as well, considering she is another Mandalorian. Will Grogu ever get training? Now, this is something I don't know. We clearly know that there's a little bit of a difference, right, between the Jedi that were trained during the Old Republic and, like, Luke Skywalker Jedi. Very, very different story. So Luke Skywalker's kind of, I mean, he was trained by Obi-Wan a little bit, and then Yoda, but then a little bit, like, by himself. It's a little different. And he didn't have the full training program. I feel like he has a little bit too much of an attachment, so I'm not sure where that will go there. I do think, unfortunately, this season will end in an Empire Strikes Back sort of way, where maybe Grogu gets captured again, and they harvest more of his blood. There is quite the possibility that Ahsoka is the one who gets trapped as well. I don't really know where her storyline's gonna go, but that's one that's like, I don't know, it could end in some sort of death or sacrifice. That's always possible. Other questions and thoughts that we have. How is the Mandalore plot going to pull out? I think we will go to Mandalore at some point. I don't know if it'll be in this season. Bo-Katan is going to try to take back Mandalore. I have a feeling that possibly Din could be sitting on the throne of Mandalore as well. I think it is quite possible that Luke is going to be the one to train Grogu. If he does get trained, he will be sought out. If not, Ezra Bridger most likely. I don't know what they would do if they would age down Mark Hamill is my assumption. But we will see. I would love to see a return of a young Luke Skywalker. That would be really cute. You know, Disney is pretty good at their de-aging technology at this point. I don't know what's going to happen at this point, because we have Thrawn, who is huge. We have Moff Gideon and his whole army, which is huge. And we have 3 episodes left. We have Bo-Katan and the Night Owls that we have to catch back up with. We have Ahsoka. We have Ezra, who's probably going to show up. Possibly other Mandalorians and other characters. There's a lot of loose ends to tie up before the end of the season, and loose ends that are going to spurt into maybe spin-off shows, which will be very exciting. I would love to see a Night Owls TV show. That's just me. I just love my Lady Mandalorians. You know how it is. And I did want to say a little thing here. I know a lot of people are not excited or not happy about the casting of Ahsoka Tano. Obviously, Ashley Eckstein poured so much into this role for the past 12 years. She was both the voice on Clone Wars and on Rebels. She created her own brand that was centered on basically women enjoying like nerdy things like Star Wars and stuff like that, which is awesome because, you know, a lot of the time we're not wanted in that conversation, and it sucks, right? She wasn't a part of it. Like, Katie Sackhoff got to be a part and got to be Bo-Katan, and I know people feel certain ways about Rosario Dawson, but my thing in this video in particular, I like Ahsoka Tano. I'm separating character and actor, and I'm just doing a breakdown. So I have my own thoughts about her and this, but that's just that. I thought visually she looked pretty decent. I thought she looked, I was worried that she was going to look worse. I don't know, when animated characters come into live action, it can be really jarring, but I think it looked fine. Her Leiku were just way too short. Those are the, what you call little tentacle thingies. I don't want to say they're not tentacles, but that's what they look like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's what they are. But, you know, obviously this character means a lot to a lot of people, and it means a lot to Dave Filoni, and this episode was directed by Dave Filoni. Overall, I thought this was a really good episode. I would say it's probably the strongest of the season. I do still like the Bo-Katan episode better. I like episode 3 visually I liked how that episode was shot, and I liked a lot of that, the whole thing. This was just still a really good episode. There were a lot of reveals, and we are really wrapping up towards the end of the season. So very excited to see what comes next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the episode down below. What do you think's gonna happen? Do you think Ezra's still alive? Where do you think Thrawn is? What is happening with Grogu? Do you like the name Grogu? Let me know all your thoughts down below. If you liked this video while you're watching, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 150 and I would love you all to join me. I will see you on Sunday with a new video. I appreciate you all. Stay safe.